Here we go back again with a quick video. Now I quickly want to chat about Sunderland players in general, the good players in general, the players that are under scrutiny, the players that have, rumours are flying around saying they could possibly leave. Likes of Jack Clarke, Jobe Bellingham, Dan, Neil, Anthony Patterson, players like that of that calibre at Sunderland, which other teams are now starting to look over and look at because of the good seasons they've had at Sunderland. Now, Chris Rigg was another player, but he signed the contract. Do we have to let any of these players go to bring in more players? Can we keep every single good asset at Sunderland for another season? Can we keep the likes of Jack Clarke? Will he stay at Sunderland? Will Dan Neil stay at Sunderland? Anthony Patterson, and so forth and so on, to all those names, Trey Hume. Can we keep every single player from last season that we want to hold on to the next current season? Now, why I'm saying this is because Fabrizio Romano has been on. He's the one with the news. He said Chris Rigg was going to sign a contract. He signed a contract. He said Regis Labris was going to be the new head coach. He's the new head coach. He now is saying this. Jobe Bellingham is going to stay for another season. Listen to this. So Fabrizio Romano tweeted, Jobe Bellingham's plan is to stay at Sunderland at least one more season despite interest from several Premier League clubs, which includes Crystal Palace. Have been pushing for weeks, but Jobe's current stance is to stay and trust Sunderland's ambitious project. Well, that's good news. Now, there's a guy on my channel who always comments. He says, we do not need to sell any players. So why is the topic being raised again? They are all under contract and unhappy at Sunderland. So there we have it. Does that mean we're not going to sell one single player? Now, I've put Malcolm's comment on there. Malcolm comments on a lot of videos. I do really appreciate all of his comments. He seems to always tend to back the club and what's going on at the club. So whether he has some sort of idea what goes on, whether he has some sort of contact, I don't know. But I do appreciate, sometimes Malcolm grounds me a little bit. Sometimes I might go off in a tantrum. I might go off in one of me, I don't know everything. But I might think sometimes that I get a bit agitated and I get a bit against the hierarchy, like Speakman, of course, and KLD the odd times. And Malcolm will come on with a comment to try and ground us down as if to say everything's fine, everything's rosy in the garden. That kind of thing. And I do honestly appreciate Malcolm's comments. Now, he says they're under contract and they're happy. They do not want to leave Sunderland. So is that in itself something out there saying that we're going to keep all of these players at the club? What's your thoughts on that? Do you think, is it possible? Have we ever kept all of our good assets season in, season out over the last few seasons? I can't quite remember. You let me know in the comments. Can we keep hold of those good players? And if that's the case, someone said on another comment, if we keep all of the players, where are we getting the money to buy fresh talent? Where are we getting the money to buy the experienced players that will cost a wage? Ollie Norwood's one of those bandished out there. He played 27 games last season in the Premier League for Sheffield United. In my eyes and in my mind and in my opinion alone, I think 33 is too old. He may be one of these, one-off, just aged really well and can play up until 35 or whatever it is. You do get those players that do last and hang around. Midfielder, defensive midfielder, Ollie Norwood. Oh, if I take me jump off, I'm bloody red hot. It's absolutely boiling in here. But yes, Ollie Norwood. He came down, relegated with Sheffield United last season in the Premier League. Got relegated. He had 27 games last season, so he's still pretty fit. Another season on. 33, 34 coming up this season. If he was relegated with Sheffield United, I'm not sure. Did he walk away from Sheffield United? Was he released by Sheffield United? So did Sheffield United think he's not good enough for next season to get promoted again to the Premier League? Or did Ollie just walk away because he wanted to change? I'm not quite sure of the circumstances. But For me, I'd like a sort of experienced players age between 25 and 30. That's just my opinion. You know, lower end of the Premier League, players that possibly can't get a game in, week out in the Premier League. You may want, you know, lots of first-time football, or players who are sort of in the top 4, 5 teams, 6 teams in the Championship, but cannot make it up to the Premier League. Maybe it's like on the peripheral of the playoffs sort of thing. Good quality players who can, you know, really make an asset to Sunderland and have like maybe 4 or 5 seasons of experience in the Championship, 4 or 5 seasons, 6, 7 seasons experience in the Premier League, Championship combined, that kind of thing. I'm just thinking 33, you do get players who do last up until 35 and do have that really sort of the bounce factor where they really can just hit the ball, hit the ground running and don't get injured ever. But some players, when they get over a certain age, start to get injury prone. And we've seen last season, like Corey Evans and Dak, always injured. And I think maybe he's 33, 34. Should we not just go for a younger player? But it's about the money, isn't it? It is for me about the money. If we do not sell, I don't want to sell any players. Any players in sort of the top 11 that are in the first team and 1 or 2 of the subs. I want to keep the majority of Sunderland players. I want to keep, you know, apart from likes of ones who can't make it onto the substitutes bench, that we know that not really, you know, sort of going to be touch and go. If we had to get rid of those to bring in some players, but if we don't sell anybody, how do we get the money to bring in and fund for these experienced players? As Malcolm says, and again, I appreciate Malcolm's comments, he says they're happy at the club, there's no reason to sell them, and they're under contract, so why would they leave? So where is that money coming from to pay for the likes of, you know, experience? But if we do go for the likes of freebies, not under contract, it will be cheaper, but still got to pay a good wage. And the likes of Ollie Norwood, who's come down from the Premier League, probably will want one last swan song payment, won't he? So will he come to Sunderland? Will we pay the wages? We have to change the model slightly. We are going to change the model to get an experienced players in, allegedly. So what about the wage structure? We've got to adjust the wage structure. And if you adjust the wage structure to bring in experienced players, does that mean the other players want more money as well? Like Sir Dan Neil does deserve a pay rise in my eye. So I've only got one good eye. But yeah, you know, so it's a bit of a... It's funny, we've got to find the funds from somewhere to bring in the experienced players, and I kind of understand the players that I want to bring in. I'm not asking for Man City players, Liverpool players, you know, even Man U players. You know, I'm asking for bottom end of the Premier League, top end of the Championship, experienced players, but that's going to cost money as well. So it's a bit of a catch-22, isn't it? So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Ollie Norwood would be a good asset to the club? If he comes to the club, even if it goes above my threshold of 30, 31, he still gets the full support. I don't want any place to leave Sunderland. You know, when I make videos on Jobe and Rig and Clark, I want them to stay. But like someone said on comments on another video, where will the funds come from if we don't sell players? Then how do we bring in the experienced players? We're going to have to go for free transfers. Freebie transfers, aren't we? Simple as. And what about England? Can England win the Euros? Can we do it ugly like Greece and Portugal? Would you be happy doing that? I tell you what, I'd be over the moon to win the Euros ugly like Greece and Portugal, just to get that bit of silverware. We could play exciting, fantastic football, but we could let 2 or 3 goals in. Holland haven't got amazing defence. Yes, Van Dijk's class, but the other ones, you know, they do let goals in Holland. Turkey should have scored a hatful the other day. They had umpteen chances. They just couldn't hit the target. That wasn't the Dutch's fault. It was the Turks' fault that they couldn't hit the target. So let's hope England can go all the way and make it to the final. I'll be doing a live stream for the semi-final. You know, maybe it's at Wincy's, maybe at home, not sure. I will be doing a live stream and see who turns up. But yeah, again, thanks for watching. If you want to get a shirt from LU Soccer, I'll leave a link down below for 10% off TM10. Link will show you some retro Sunderland shirts. Have a look. You know, if you can't afford a brand new shirt, well, nobody can get a brand new shirt because no brand new shirts at the club right now. And if these retro shirts aren't at the club and they're what you like, have a look, get yourself one. Anyway, leave a link down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Take care. God bless me. God go with you. And we'll see you next time. Bye.